have been single for a long time now. After 3 years, I'm finally in a healthy relationship. Only problem is, I don't get sexually aroused by him. I feel like I've lost my sexual drive.
Mhm. Yeah, that's so difficult to have that, and I think I would want to start out by saying you may have lost contact with it, but you haven't lost it.
Mm.
So just know that's kind of hardwired into you. So that's good. It's not something that can just fall off or we lose. We may lose touch with it though. So again, without getting too into the details, because I don't know your situation, there can be a lot of reasons that happens. Sometimes in seeking to honor God and save sex for marriage, sometimes what happens is people almost kind of turn off their sexual drive because they don't want to step outside of or ahead of God's timing. They're like, it's not time for that. I don't want to go there. And so, without meaning to, they start to almost create a shutdown inside themselves where any sexual feelings or thoughts or arousal or anything like that, they basically kind of box it up and go, I'm not going to allow that because I don't want to. I don't want to end up doing something I don't want to do. And it gets really hard as they enter a relationship with somebody and they want to connect. It's almost like this is kind of hard to unbox. Now that it's time to unbox it, it's like I can't get it out or I can't find it. Okay. And so, that can often happen. There are other things that can go into that. I'm going to assume that it's not an attraction thing. Sometimes people can genuinely, maybe there's a medical issue or something going on where you're struggling to be attracted to your spouse. You love them as a person, but struggling physically or emotionally. Maybe you're not connecting emotionally with them and you don't feel drawn to them sexually. I'm going to assume it's none of those things and just go with the first one. That a really good thing for you to do, I would say Cliff and Joyce Penner, A Celebration of Sex, or no, that's Doug Rosenau, Dr. Doug Rosenau. That's a really good book. And also a good read would be Restoring the Pleasure. Both of what these books are going to do is going to give you some good sexual information and knowledge. But what they're also going to walk you through is how to start engaging that part of yourself with your spouse. One of the most important things to know about sex is one of the ways that we know that we want to be sexual is like the internal drive, meaning you feel like you want to be sexual. You feel a drive, right? And some days you might feel that and other days you don't. And what happens is when we shut down kind of our sex drive a little bit, that kind of maybe we put a damper on that. And so what we assume is I can only be sexual and enjoy sex if I feel that drive internally. And so because I don't feel that drive internally, I cannot engage in sex. And so what these books are going to walk you through is there's such a thing as receptive desire. It's like, I didn't know that would feel good, but as we start to do this together, I'm noticing myself starting to get aroused. So I'm not starting with a desire, but I end up as we start to connect a little bit physically and we start to do that, it's starting to awaken that in me. And it's called receptive sexual desire. And so, but those books do a tremendous job. I really recommend you get one of those. Sit down. We tell couples all the time, read it aloud together. That's one of the coolest things you can do. Don't read it separate and then come and talk about it because you won't. Read it aloud together because that will get you talking about sex, engaging on this, talking about it, and then they're gonna guide you through some activities and things that you can do to start re-engaging the enjoyment of that connection with your spouse, and it'll be really good for you.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much, Shaun, for that advice. And hopefully that could encourage and answer this person's question.